Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. So good to be here with all of you. I've missed you guys. Yeah. Hi, everybody. So I have been doing this free Sunday calls every week, and I got a little fried. So yeah, I've been also running the Starseed 2 classes, which takes all of my energy and attention and doing other things. So I needed a little break, but I'm here and I'm back. So I will be present doing this every Sunday again at 2 o'clock, as long as I have the energy, and I plan to have it. So that should be fun. So good to be here with all of you. Okay, so today we are going to do a special meditation slash activation. It's not going to be an interactive call with questions and answers, but more a channeling and an upgrade vibrationally to support you guys in working with the energy of clarity and illumination. So just to get started with a couple quick announcements, for those of you, some people are just popping on now, I will be back on Sundays at 2 o'clock doing these free channelings. There's always a replay available, and that gets sent out after the call. And it also gets posted up on YouTube, so you can always go there and check it out. What else is happening? The holidays are coming. So Thanksgiving is next Thursday here in the United States. And I know for a lot of people, the holidays, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever you're celebrating, many other traditions, that it can be a time where we get stressed, we get triggered. Family can sometimes bring out stuff in us that we need to look at. Some of our shadow might come up. So I have found energetically for this to be kind of an intense time, and yet it's supposed to be filled with so much joy, right? And light and playfulness and connection, but it can also be stressful. So I'm going to be offering a class that's only a 2-hour program. It's going to be on December 19th, and it's an angel activation blessing. I used to do these years ago in person, and Raphael literally made me bless every person on the head, and then I had to bow and get down on my feet and touch their feet, like get down on my knees and literally kiss their feet. It was pretty intense. So I won't be doing that because it will be on Zoom, but energetically it will be the same. Each person will be getting this beautiful blessing. We'll be bringing in not just Archangel Raphael, but all of the archangels. It'll be a 2-hour program. It's a great thing to give to people that you love for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating, to help them stay centered and clear and joyful for the holidays instead of more things, because I think we all have a lot of things, right? We're out running around looking for things that maybe we don't need. So if you want to do that, when I send out the replay, there should be a link, and you can get either the activation blessing for yourself, or you can give it as a gift, or for yourself and friends, whatever you want to do. All right. Any other announcements? I don't think so. I think we're just going to hop in and see what's going on. For those of you who are not in my classes, you may not totally be familiar with the vibration of Telos. And so let me just kind of go over that really quickly, just in case you're not. It is a etheric place on the inner planes that's located in Northern California in Mount Shasta. There are very spectacular beings of light that are there, that are here to support us, and they're all over the planet holding a grid of light to help us as we're evolving our consciousness and raising our frequency. One of those beings is called Lord Lanto. Some people know of Lord Lantos through Chinese culture and things of this sort. He is, in a sense, called the ray of illumination, meaning he helps to illuminate the way for us to see clearly whatever it is that perhaps we need support around. So today we're going to go kind of like on a journey with Raphael, and we're going to enter into Telos. Now, I've been working with the vibration there for many, many years, traveled there multiple times. It's a very special magical place, just as many magical places that you're familiar with around the globe, whether they be in the Great Pyramids in Egypt or Stonehenge in England, some things that you're real familiar with. And then there's more subtle places that people aren't that tuned into, but there are energetic sacred spots on the planet that give us greater access due to their ley lines into different realms to support us in really connecting to higher aspects of ourself. So we're going to drop into that. And the way that we go there, and I'm going to explain this to you because otherwise as Raphael's channeling and you're not fully understanding it, the entrance point is going to be through the top of the mountain. So in Northern California, Mount Shasta is a beautiful mountain, and at the top is a peak. And if you spend a lot of time there, especially at night, it's really cool. You'll almost see little lights. Energetically, there's a lot going on. So we're going to, through meditation, go into the mountain where there is a large gold disc that lives right underneath, which is a barrier to allow you entrance into this sacred space. Now, because so much is happening right now on the planet and we're quickly evolving and accelerating our frequency, these beings have a very strong interest in us evolving and are opening up their doors in a sense to us in the inner planes to give us more support and guidance so that we can elevate our vibration. Okay, so we're going to go in through the disc, the door opens, and when that happens you kind of drop down into the mountain. And for those of you who are familiar with Saint Germain, and if you're not, he's another beautiful ascended master that will appear energetically. And so it's important that through this process your eyes are closed and you're really inward. Also make sure your phones are turned off. That would be very helpful, and that you're not going to be too distracted. And Saint Germain will bring in the violet flame and help get rid of any energy in our auric field, an energetic, emotional, mental field that needs clearing. And then we're going to go into the Hall of Illumination with Lord Lantos. So if you have a question that you are seeking an answer to, or that you need clarity, should I do this or should I do that? Or can you give me some guidance as to, perhaps it could be about your purpose or a relationship or whatever it might be. You might want to have that in mind. Take a minute and maybe jot that down so that when we get into the journey, you have that sort of available to you to ask. And then once you've done this, you'll be able to go back over and over and do this meditation / journey to continue to get clarity and support from Lord Lantos. Okay, I hope that that was clear. We are recording and we'll get started. I know people jumped on the last minute. I'll say it one more time, that I will be back doing Sunday calls at 2 o'clock. Happy to do that. I needed a little break. And that on December 19th is the special holiday Angel Activation Blessing 2-hour program, and love to have you guys on that. All right. So everybody just wants to take a moment, take a nice deep breath, and let go. And another one all the way in, and let go. Dropping down into the earth, feeling your cord going all the way down into the core of Mother Earth and anchoring you into this now moment. Wow. Oh, 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 oh. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, 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 hello. Oh, 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 oh. As always, we are delighted to be here from the angelic realm to love, love, love who it is that you are. And we are here to remind you of your magnificence and how beautiful you are. And although at times you may be caught in the density and the heaviness of the human experience, so I want to remind you, by the way, that you signed up for this. So don't blame us. We're just kidding. But we want you to know that even if you're feeling some of that heaviness, that it shall lift. That when you are in it, and it is of any type of despair or hurting or grief or pain, it often feels as though it will not lift, but it will. And we are here because we love and adore who it is that you are. And we want to support you as you are in this physicality of the body, moving and shifting and changing and growing and evolving. And it is of no great surprise, for you are very well aware that your planet is shifting, and that externally, when you look out into the sea of things, that there are great changes around and amongst you. And you may have also recognized that there is a lot more information that there has ever been before. And sometimes you might feel overwhelmed or bombarded with all the information coming at you from all different directions. And sometimes it can be difficult to discern what is true and what is not true, what you are aligning with and what you are not aligning with. So there are so many opinions and so many ideas and different perspectives and way of seeing things. And it is that we want you to know that this is not going to shift or change. If anything, it is going to increase and continue to increase. And as it does so, you will have to find your own inner compass as to what is true. And you will need to illuminate energy and be able to read it and its resonance and its vibration to see if it is a match for who it is that you are and what it is that you are doing and where it is that you are going. And yet it is very easy to be influenced by the collective and what it is that they say, and the influence of those that you care about or love that have opinions of what it is that you should and should not do. And although human intelligence has been very valued for a very long time here on planet Earth, and it has had so many great influences and enormous impact in teachings and understanding and science and technology and all of that, it has created a severing from the heart. And as it's done that, the ego mind has somehow gotten a bit out of control, thinking that it knows and it is in control, or that it has the answer to all things. And it is that it can convince itself that something is true, even though it is really deeply based in an illusion of fear or an illusion of doubt. And it is that spiritual wisdom has been, in many respects, lost. And yet it is that the spiritual wisdom, or perhaps you might even label it as the divine feminine and masculine, as they are, in a sense, coming back into balance. And in many respects, the masculine energy has gotten a bad rap, but it is of great importance and needed and necessary, magnificent when it is in balance. It is holding its power, its strength, its integrity, and its truth. And the divine feminine has been equally out of balance in the energy and the vibration of the martyr and the victim and all of those things. And that too is coming back into its power. But it is that the spiritual wisdom that resides deep within who it is that you are, that comes from your heart center, is a muscle that has gotten a bit weak. It is not completely atrophied, but it is not anywhere near the capacity of the strength that it has and the ability that it has to open up doorways and to bring forth understanding, clarity, wisdom, and knowledge. And so, as perfectly designed. Things externally right now sometimes feel a bit jagged or uneven, and energies may be presenting themselves for an opportunity to bring light to them, to grow, to shift, and to change. But also, it is that the sense of not really having clarity as to what may be true and what is not true, with so many differing opinions and division. It is that this is a perfect architectural design for you to choose or to place your attention upon the spiritual wisdom and knowledge that resides not outside of self, but within. And so it is today that one of the beings that spent eternity, in a sense, or whatever, because we won't say a lifetime because it is way beyond that, tending to what we call the flame of illumination, is here to support you in opening up that spiritual wisdom and illuminating it with light from the higher realms so that you can see and have greater clarity. For it is that through your education and linear thinking and the logical mind, you have been taught when you have a problem to perhaps look at it from a logical perspective, to weigh the pros and cons, to make lists, and to follow what is most practical, most logical. And yet, because the rules of the game, in a sense, have shifted and changed, it is forcing you to go in, and rather than to blankly take or accept the information that is coming at you from various sources as an absolute, there is a lot more questioning. And this questioning about outside information is forcing you to go inward. And so it is designed absolutely perfectly. And it is that we want to assist you in giving you rememberings of tools to help you to do this. And it is that Kelly was talking to you about Mount Shasta and this realm in many inner planes where there is an etheric crystalline city of light that is holding the frequency and the vibration of fifth dimensional energy, where the earth is beings are unified in wholeness and in love, in which all energies across the body and the globe are activated with the importance of what it is that they are meant to express in alignment with their truth. And it is that your truth is so important. The truth of what it is that another may be telling you, but the truth of which you are telling others, but even more important than any of that, the truth that you tell yourself. Before we recognize that it is easy for you to deceive yourself, to want to believe something in order for it to serve the interest of what you think is good for self, even when deep within the essence of your being, you recognize on some level that it is not. It is an illusion that one creates, and it is created as a way to keep you safe. And the ego loves familiarity. It loves to keep things the way that they were, and to keep all things in play so that you feel comfortable and safe, or does not like the energy of the unknown. But it is the willingness to take a leap of faith, to allow yourself to fly with a knowing of a deep trust in surrendering to what is, that all is aligning in its divine perfection, that you get to experience more joy, and you get to open up your heart to new and inner possibilities that perhaps you have cut yourself off from in the need to want to stay in the familiar. Because as the very familiar saying is, was one door closes, another opens. And as you sever old energies or jobs or relationships or experiences or ways of behavior or habits, it is always an opportunity to step into something else. And when you are in it, is of a great importance to be in the process of feeling it and allowing yourself to love where it is that you are and grieving it and honoring it, but not to get so caught in the dwelling of it at any given moment in time that you don't recognize that there's this door right in front of you, that when you place your hand upon it, you may open it and walk through into something that is an expanded possibility that you could not see from the perspective of where it was that you were, which you thought was so perfect and magnificent in the comfortableness of the safe space. And so that comfortable energy, which is often even sometimes associated with the familiar, of the anchoring in of what you know, which is the ego, is dismantling itself to create an emptiness or a space for the unknown. And it is in the human experience, because you are operating in linear time and space, you often do not like to be in the unknown. It doesn't feel safe, but it is that through the safetiness that resides within but not externally, the standing clear in the essence of who you are and the truth of your power, it is that in the unknown is when you open up to the fabric of the universal energetic field. You might even call it the quantum field, where you have the aspect to begin to move within it and to create. And so it is that Lord Lantos is here to open up the mind, in a sense, to align the mind with the highest frequency possible, so that you can break through the barrier of illusion and see with greater clarity. And so with that, we shall begin. We're wanting you all to close your eyes and to take a nice deep breath, knowing that you're going to a very magnificent and magical place, a place where there is pure love, where the ascended masters live and dwell and work tirelessly on the behalf of humanity to support you in waking up to the divine essence of who it is that you are, in the remembering of your perfection, that you are the creation of all things, and that you created everything and are everything. And yet you have forgotten this, that they are lifting the veil of that for you to see the perfection in everything that you perceive. And so with that, dropping down now, we're wanting you to just drop into the body and open the heart. You might start to breathe in and out through the heart center. And as you're breathing in and out to the heart center, you want to feel it being filled with great light, as it is opening itself up and permeating this light all through your entire being, in every cell, in every organ, in every tissue of the body. And with that, you're going to begin to lift and feel yourself starting to float, as your eyes are becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. And as you are floating, you're going to bring an awareness into your mind's eye of a place in North America, in Northern California. And as you start to attune to that energetic vibration, you'll start to feel, in a sense, of fog all around you, swirling around. And as you're floating through this fog up in the air, you'll get to see a little bit of a peak of a mountaintop. And this peak is filled with snow. And as you look at it, the fog begins to lift and the sun is bright. And you're hovering now up over the mountain, looking down and in. And as you see an opening there, it opens wide, and you and all the beings listening to this in this now moment or at any time are dropping down, down, down into the mountain. And as you drop down, there is a large golden disc. You might begin to feel it, for it is cold like metal, and you are standing on it. And in the center of this disc is a slit like the opening of an elevator. And once all of you are here and arrived and orienting yourself, there is permission now by the great beings of the ascended light to open up this space and allow you to drop down, down, down into the cavernous, beautiful energy of Telos. And as you are dropping down further and further, you find yourself landing and standing on a beautiful amethyst crystal. And this amethyst crystal is radiating an energy that is pulsating through your entire body. And each and every one of you are standing here and feeling this energy. And the great Saint Germain is coming forward now, and you may begin to have a vision of him as he is wearing a deep purple robe. His eyes are crystal blue, and he has a cross upon his chest of the Maltese cross. He stands radiating love from his heart. And he comes to turn on the violet flame for you as he moves over to where you are on the amethyst crystal. And beneath it, there is a dial in which he begins to turn. And as he turns it up, it is the absolute perfect amount just for you. Whatever it is you are willing at this moment in time to release, to let go, and to clear. And as he does this, you feel this purple violet flame coming up your feet. And it is clearing any discordant energy of sorrow or pain, heaviness or grief, physical, emotional, and mental pain. And as it rises, it moves up through your knees and your thighs, your stomach and your back, up clearing out and around and spinning through your heart and your throat, up your shoulders and around your head to the very top, spinning above. And as it is turned on, it is purifying now. And as you take a deep, deep breath, you are willing to allow it to fully transmute any energy that is not in alignment with joy in your being. You feel it burning and purifying itself as it is dissolving and turning to light. There may be pockets in your field, you might feel them around your heart or your solar plexus, perhaps in your neck or your head that are heavy or dark. And the violet flame comes in with no agenda, just clearing it, dissolving it, transmuting it, and lifting it so that you feeling lighter and purer and clear and filled with joy. If a sadness comes over you during this clearing, just allow yourself to cry, to feel the pain or the sorrow. If joy is coming, laugh and open your heart. If you are feeling a sense of neutrality, then sit in the stillness of that. Whatever it is that you are experiencing and feeling as this beautiful violet flame swirls in and around you is divinely perfect. And as it clears you now, it's going to ask permission to keep the physicality of your body here, where it may continue to transmute and work, raising the frequency and the vibration of who it is that you are on all levels, while we go off to meet Lord Lantos. So leave your body there in the amethyst chair. And as you do that, feel a lifting now, as if you are lifting another layer out from your being, and you're becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. And as you do this, you're beginning to float. And as you're floating, you're looking and seeing the beauty of the rivers as it is floating down, all of the beautiful sparkling colors of light. You see, the river looks so different than that in the world in which you live, for it is like a rainbow of colors whirling around with energy and beauty. You see beings, some are tall and thin, and some are small, and they all have an etheric quality as if they're luminescent and transparent. Many of them hold their hand to their heart, as you can see it glowing with a beautiful and magnificent ball of light. The flowers are blooming and there are fountains wherever you look that are dripping with lots of energy and gold. There are beautiful tables and altars with chalices that are overflowing with light and abundance. There are animals scurrying about and playing. As you look around, you see all the different seasons of the spring budding and the flowers blooming, of the fall leaves and the crystals of the icicles in the winter and the hot summer sun. For all the seasons are expressing themselves at once. You've never seen anything like that, for you can embody and tune into any frequency, any vibration by just a twinkle in the eye or change in the energy. As you look in one or another direction, something new appears, a new feeling and a new experience. There are temples of lots of colors everywhere that you look. With large, beautiful golden doors. And it is a place in which there is joy emanating and laughter all around as you see the little ones playing, as they come with sitting and holding the animals in the kingdom in their arms. And it is that the crystals are alive and the trees are alive. They are talking and playing and moving in the wind, for it is a magical place filled with joy. And as you pass through and you begin to become familiar with this energy, it is you see a man in the distance, and he is opening his arms, beckoning you to come in his direction. He is radiating a light like the sun, and it is so bright, sometimes it is almost blinding. And as you look at him, his heart is overflowing with love. For he is radiating the light and illuminating it in a path for you to follow. And as you look at him, he turns his back to you, and you walk and you follow him. And behind you, he is dropping droplets of light that is illuminating the path and making it clear where to go. And as you follow him, you see the back of his beautiful robe that is of golden color as the hem hits the floor and flows in a light and luminous way. And you follow him down this path. And as you're looking at him, he holds in his left hand a beautiful light of energy. It looks almost like a wand, but it is has a spiral upon it, and it is glowing the rainbows of all the colors, and colors you have never even seen before. And everything it touches, it just brings more light and illumination to it, for it lightens it in a way in which you see the beauty of everything and the perfection in all things. And as you keep following him, you see in the distance this beautiful temple, and it is round in shape, and yet it has 8 sides. And as you look over at it, it is glowing with a light, and the heaviness of the doors before you. And on either side of the door are messengers of love. And as they look at you and you at them, you bow in gratitude and great honor to be welcomed into the hall of illumination. And as the door opens wide, you go in. And as you go in, you look around and you see there is gold, and everything is in a golden hue. There are candles that are lit and flickering in the light. There are mirrors and gold velvet cushions and beautiful crystals made of gold. And you look at it and you are in awe as it is shining with a permeance of energy and light you've never seen before. And there is one place in particular in this gorgeous illumination temple that is calling to you, a place for you to call your own, where you may go now and sit and take your seat. And along as you're sitting, you see so many others coming in, and as they look and they see the beauty, they gasp in the magnificence of it as they find their seat as well. And as you all sit down, Lord Lanto stands now in the center of his temple, and he looks to you with his warm and gentle and loving eyes. And as he looks to you, he says, I have been waiting to see you for a very long time. I am delighted that you are here. I welcome you into my home. I know my home may look a little different than yours, but it is my home and you are always welcome here. There is always a seat awaiting for you. I come because I have been given the gift of the flame of illumination that I have held for so long I cannot count the number of time or years, for it is here and I perpetually sit and hold my light for you so that you may find the light within and remember who you are. So thank you, dear ones, for coming to be with me. For I am here to open the wisdom and the knowledge that be. For it is, my dear ones, that you have looked for so long to find the truth somewhere else. But it resides deep inside your heart. And it is that the mind has lost its way. And I am here to open your crown, to illuminate it so all the petals may bloom. And as they bloom and open up so grand and wide, that you may place anything inside, and you shall see and know the truth that resides. And so, my dear ones, come to me and tell me your troubles. Tell me what you wonder to know. Tell me how I can help you see and trust that you are everything. Let me show you the way, dear one, to release your fear and your doubt, for there is nothing to fear at all, to be afraid or to hold you in shackles, for it is truly the truth that will set you free. For you are free to be, to create, to have, to experience whatever you shall want. For open your heart and let your crown blossom, so that I may open it and show you the way. So come, dear one, come close to me. And as you look, you shall see I stand in front of my great pedestal, and upon it is a book that glows with golden light. This book holds the answer of greatest spiritual wisdom, knowledge, and teachings. For any question that you have, it knows what it shall be. Anything that you need an answer to or wondering what to do, it knows the answer in the quickening of a moment, in a willingness to open your crown and allow your heart to radiate with light. And so I'm coming to you now, and you may feel the warmth of my presence, for the illumination of the flame I carry within my heart radiates a heatness. You might begin to feel that warmth. Do not be afraid. It won't consume or overwhelm you, but you will feel the light and the warmth that I bring to you. And as you begin to feel a bit warmer and brighter and hotter, feel the energy moving through you as I'm coming closer now. And as I do, I place my hand upon the energy of the middle of your forehead. And as I do this, I start to turn it. And as I begin to turn it around and around, I'm starting to open up and allow the blooming of this wisdom to occur. Feel it opening and expanding like a flower upon your head. Do not be afraid. Allow it to continue to come open, open, open. It can be whatever flower you choose. For the traditional may be the lotus, but for you it could be a magnolia. It could be a rose or an iris too. Allow it to open in whatever color it may be, and feel inside of it the beauty that may arise. And as it opens now and it is clear as can be, I come over to you, and as I do so, I show you the book. Now, this book is not just for anyone, but for those who practice their journey of spiritual wisdom, cultivation, and dedication. And as you look at the sacredness of it, you see it's open to a page. And when you look down to see what the page sees or says, you see it as blank, my dear one, for it has not been written in yet, for the answer resides in you. And so I'm going to give it to you now in a moment's notice, just a minute. And as I close the book complete, I hand it to you. I place it in your left hand now, and as you hold it there, I'm going to give you a pen. And this is not an ordinary pen, but a pen that is, what word could we use? It is a pen that makes what is invisible visible to see and to know. And so I hand you the pen, and I'm going to allow you to have this great moment of wisdom and spiritual knowledge, as you can see very clearly answer to your question. And I'm going to stand back now, and on the count of 3, you shall open the book, and you shall write the answer, knowing without doubt, without any hesitation to the question that you may have. And when you are done, I shall come over and place my scepter upon it. And as I do, the invisible in which you could not see will be visible and clear. And so, are you ready, my dear one? Close and go deeper, deeper in within. And what is the question that you want to ask? Whatever you need to know, for no question is too big or small or right or wrong, for any question at all cannot be silly. It can be anything you want, for there is no judgment in the question you choose. And when you have your question, which you should have it now, I shall count to 3. And when I finish counting, the book will open immediately, and you shall write with your pen the answer to your question. 1, 2, 3. Write the answer to your question in what comes to mind immediately. Do not hesitate or think too long, for it is what comes right now. And as you write it down word by word, or perhaps one word at all, when you are finished, keep the book open and I will see that you are ready. And as you are ready, I will come to you. And as I do, I take my scepter of illumination of light, and I take that which was invisible to come to life. And as you see it now, it is written in front of you, floating all about. The answer is right there. Do you see it, my dear one? And so now that you know your truth of what is to be, you take it now and put it back in the answer of your choice. And as we do this, we close the book and know that it is true. And so go back now and sit upon your chair and absorb the answer in which you have found. And know that this is the hall of illumination where the great wisdom of knowledge resides, in which you may come at any time to open it and to write down and to know the answer right and clear. For we illuminate it for you to see, to feel, to embody, and to know. For you cannot have an answer that is based in illusion or falsehood, for the book of knowledge will not allow it to be written. And so if it was written and it did not appear, then it is not the vibration in which aligns with who you are. So know that you can only find the truth here within this book of illumination, of wisdom, and in my hall. And so thank you for coming. And I ask of you all now a favor before you leave, for it brings me great sadness when I look down upon your globe and I see that there are borders that separate you from one another. Some of the borders are in your mind that makes you think you are greater or less than. Some are actually drawn and written in the sand or in the grass or mountaintops that divide you from nation to nation, country to country, ideology to ideology. And you see, some people are gathering at these borders where they are in harm's way. And I ask you now to help me, for I have gathered with many of the ascended masters, and we are working diligently on dismantling these borders so that you may be free, free to be wherever you are, that you are nourished, housed, and loved, that every human being across your globe can find a home of great safety. And although that safety resides inside of you, it is that sometimes one needs to find sanctuary somewhere until all beings across the planet have been illuminated with the light of love. And so I'm going to ask you now that when you exit my temple of illumination and the door is open, that if there is any place in your life or anywhere that you go or anyone that you love, the door is closed to them in that they find themselves in desperate need, that you open the door and let them in. And you may say, but what about boundaries? I am not talking about those who will harm or hurt you or cause pain. I am talking about opening your hearts as human beings to each human being to have their basic needs. And this is my job in the Hall of Illumination, to illuminate this. And this will keep coming to the surface as time passes. And I ask you to open the door of your heart to any place that is closed, for it is the resonance vibration that matches the borders of those that are the living example and expression of this resonance, so that this may be dissolved in a willingness to see the divine in one another. And so I give you the gift of the whole of illumination and the wisdom and the book of knowledge, so that you may find the truth of what you seek. And in return, I ask you to go out into the world with an open heart and to open the gates to see the perfection and the divinity in those perhaps that look different than you, think different than you, act different than you. And so it is. And with that, now you may exit the Hall of Illumination as I will guide you back to Saint Germain. And as you are coming back, you may look now and see that amethyst, beautiful stone in which you are. Some of you are sitting on it and some are standing, as the violet fire has cleared and purified your being. As a part of you floats back, putting back together the etheric, astral, mental, and emotional body, the whole spirit body of the auric field is intact. We have cleared away any discordant energy, purified and opened your heart, brought clarity and truth and inner wisdom to that in which you are seeking, illuminated your being and opened your crown, and asked you in return to open the gates of your heart to dissolve any boundaries between you and another, as the resonance of this energy ripples across planet Earth, creating healing all across your globe, unifying you back into the resonance remembering of your divinity. And so with that, you may begin to lift out as the ascended masters come around and wave you goodbye as you return back, floating back out of the mountain and returning back to the place where you are in the physical, the here and now, dropping down into your body, Taking a nice deep breath, knowing that in this return, that you are clearer, brighter, stronger, and more aligned with the perfection of your divinity. And so it is. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being on this call today and going on that journey with us. If you're new to these calls, we'll be having them every Sunday at 2 o'clock. They're free. Replay will go out within 24 hours. And we are having a holiday angel activation blessing that you can give as a gift to family and friends or join for yourself to help you stay centered and enjoy in the spirit of love for the holidays. So that's link is in where you got the link and in the replay. Thank you for all of you beautiful beings who donate to these calls. I deep appreciation for that. And I'll see you next Sunday. You can unmute yourself if there's something you want to say. Should be able to.
We love you so much.
Thank you.
Keep it up, everybody.
Thank you, Kelly.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kelly.
As always,
Thanks
love
so
Hey,
peace,
everybody.
and I feel safe
Thank
in
you. Thank you so much.
consciousness.
Thank you,
Thank
Kelly.
you,
Safe, everybody.
archangels.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for being my guides so much, so beautiful.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you and blessings to all.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. Love you.
Love you. Thanks, guys. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you, Kelly. Thank you.
Oh, wow. How beautiful.
All right. Bye, everybody. I'm
Love
hanging up.
you.
Bye-bye.